creator economy is now worth over $250 billion. Yet most creators are barely able to pay rent. And after winning the school games and scaling multiple creators past $40,000 per month, I found 5 reasons as to why most creators, to put quite frankly, are broke as shit. So the first thing is that most creators don't even know who they're selling to. Whether you're selling info, communities, coaching, whatever, they don't know who they're selling to. Maybe you have a general idea. Okay, I'm selling a fitness offer. But the reality is you're attracting a certain type of avatar and you want to be able to target that avatar as specifically as possible. So let's say you're doing a fitness offer and maybe you're just attracting this older audience, or maybe you're attracting like moms. You want to start tweaking your messaging to target more of those people, so doubling down on that. And so it's the way to actually be able to find out who that is you have to do proper market research, and that's kind of the very first step as to structuring everything correctly and actually having an info product that sells like hotcakes. The first step is market research, and I actually made a full video going super in depth and even using AI to create that avatar so you know exactly who to target. So if you want to see more of that, I'll pop it up right now. So you can just watch that, and I go super in depth on that. And the second point is there's already a demand in that market for that transformation that you as a creator have had, but you just have to position yourself correctly in the market to be able to address it. You're not creating any new demand. When you figure out exactly who you're speaking to, you're able to position yourself in the market better and more specifically and more niche, and you just resonate with these people way more. And then when you resonate with them, you're speaking to their pains and their desires, then you're able to sell to them more because they like you more, they trust you more. If you're having a conversation with someone and they know what your struggles with and they know what you want, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to trust them because they're listening to you. That's kind of the same concept. Point number 2, we're in a trust recession, so you need to have as much contact with your leads or your prospects as much as possible. And so there's actually a study that was done by Google. It's called the 7-11-4 rule. And basically, people need to have 7 hours of contact with you. So 7 hours, obviously, on average, they need 7 hours of watch time with you. And this is going to build trust. They're going to see that you've provided enough value for them to assume that if they buy from you again, or not again, but if they buy from you, that they're going to get that value again. And then they also need 11 different touch points. So emails, Instagram, YouTube. There's like all these different touch points across 4 separate locations. Point number 3 is most creators don't treat coaching or info, courses, whatever. They don't treat it like an actual business. And it is an actual business, which is why they're not making money from it, because it's an actual business where you need systems, you need to hire people. You can't do it all yourself. You can't take on like sales calls. You're not tracking metrics. You're not treating it as a business. So it's just this like, oh, okay, I'm trying to sell my course. It's not working. No, this is an entire fucking business that you need to actually focus on in order to make it work. So it's really like split focus or not realizing what it takes to actually make that program or that info product successful. So you need to be able to hire and systemize things from the get-go to be able to prepare for scaling, not just do everything yourself at the beginning. Especially if you're selling a high ticket offer, don't take the sales calls yourself, at least maybe at the very beginning to validate your offer, but don't be doing everything yourself because you're just limiting yourself, and that's low leverage. There's a lot of low leverage things you can outsource. And so you need to have a team in place. And now if you want me to help you with that, I help creators scale and I actually handle the whole back end business for them. So if you don't have any experience or you want my help, you can just DM me on Instagram. I'll just link that below. But anyway, to point number 4 is they crash and burn. A lot of creators will do launches and they'll do a public launch, whatever, I'm dropping this new mentorship, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you made that money. And then now what about the next month? Because you just did a public launch. And the way launches work is when you sell publicly like that, you can sell to that audience that you currently have, But once that launch is over, you kind of milk that audience, and unless you have like very steady growth, then it's going to be a lot harder to do another launch. So what I recommend and what I do with my clients is we do a lot of back end, not back end launches, but we do a lot of back end selling. So free value on the front end, whether that's emails, free communities, lead magnets, and then you can just kind of sell them on the back end. And what this does is you're not like using up all your goodwill, right? You're always providing free value, free value, free value, and then you just kind of offer to sell them on the back end. And so this is also really good if you don't want to seem like a guru or you don't want to seem salesy. That's the best way to do it, and it maintains that longevity because you're not really selling publicly, you're not doing launches, and then you just have zero revenue. It's a very steady thing. And another thing is creators don't focus on product. So if you do that launch, you need to then dial in on product. Like if you're going to do a launch, then shut it down, shut the high ticket, which is what I recommend doing. High ticket has the most profit. It just makes the most sense. And so if you're going to do that, you need to get your students results because as the expert, people will think that your case of success is an anomaly. So when you have case studies and testimonials, it becomes a lot easier to sell what like the high ticket mentorship, right? So that's one of the things is you need to focus on product. And within that market research video that I link, it's not just about market research, but within that video, and I'll link it again, is everything you need to kind of focus on product without actually having a product at the beginning. So if you want to watch that, you can go ahead. And then point number 5 is just keep it simple. Even though you have to treat it like a business, a lot of creators will just overcomplicate things, right? So just do high ticket. That makes the most sense. Don't complicate your offer. Don't offer too many things in your offer because most of the time people will buy for like one or two things. So just have like 3 to 5 big things in your offer, and people will normally buy for just one thing anyway. So the more things you add to your offer stack, the less valuable it actually becomes. So just keep it simple. Maybe you can have like a downsell offer if people aren't qualified for your high ticket. But really, the main point is just to keep it simple because you're adding operational complexity when you have like low ticket. Okay, I wanted to get this monthly. I want to have this mid ticket. I want to have a high ticket. And all this stuff, you're just adding complexity and it's friction and it just makes things complicated. Just do high ticket. Again, I recommend that most of the time because the profit margins are just really insane. But there's obviously, it's a bit more of a complicated sales process because people aren't just going to buy 3 grand off or 5 grand off or just like off a link. So you need to actually make sure they're a good fit, get them on a sales call and all this sort of stuff. So you need sales reps, you need a team, you need a sales process. So again, if you want my help with that, just DM me below, or if you have any questions about anything, just DM me.